Great excitement here and anticipation at the start of the Nissan International Rally. We're standing outside the Civic Centre on the foreshore of Cape Town, surrounded by most, if not all, of the 58 entries. And they're very big names in South African motor rallying, names like Sarel van der Merwe, Nick de Waal, Hannes Krobler, and of course last year's winner, Serge Damso. At the top of the championship table with wins in the 2 events which have been run so far.
Well, it is the longest event this year we've had so far. So it all depends. If you lose a bit of time, you can make up a bit of time. So that advantage, but you have to tackle the event a different approach. It's, to get to the end, I think, is the main thing.
Sarel van der Merwe back to rallying from his season in the United States and obviously in contention for this event.
Well, I would imagine we're in there with a chance, but we haven't had an excellent year up to date, so it's going to be hard work. I think Serge probably has to start favourite at his hometown, and after that he's in his backyard, so that always helps a bit.
Also a contender in the top class is Hannes Krobler in the turbocharged Nissan Skyline, a car that's getting better with each event.
Die motor is in 'n baie beter toestand as op die eerste tydren. Ons het baie dingetjies verander op hom. Ek is baie tevrede op die oomblik om daar's 'n paar klein goedjies wat ons nog moet doen, maar ek dink ons kan baie goed doen op die tydren.
And then others like Nick de Waal in his VW Passat Synchro, the top contender in Class B, and of course Johan Evertse in the Audi Sport. Out of all the entrants, one team features the talent of the fairer sex, Robin Bartholomew and Teresa van Enter, sure to capture the interest of the rest of the field.
All the time. Yeah, definitely they give us a hard time, but it's a lot of teasing and a lot of encouragement actually behind the teasing.
The official start to the rally with the cars being sent off by the Deputy Mayor, Hannes Krobler leading the way. And next up to the line, Serge Damso and navigator Vito Bonafide. With me is Adrian Pfeiffer, who is a well-known racing correspondent for the newspapers and also helping with the commentary on this program. Adrian, let's have a look at the field. What sort of competition are we going to see in this event?
Making a prediction at this stage is very difficult, obviously. Sarel's been beaten twice. I doubt whether he can be beaten 3 times in a row, but on the other hand, Serge has done the first 2. He made it. The chap who we have to watch out for is Nissan's Hannes Krobler. I think Hannes in his new turbocharged Skyline is going to be a danger today. Well, we'll see what happens.
The route that has been set out for the 1988 Nissan International starts with a spectator stage at Killarney and then makes its way through the Southern Cape, taking in stages at Somerset West, Hohook, Caledon, and then with stages all along the course through Swellendam past Heidelberg and Riversdale, and then down to the coast at Mossel Bay. From there, it's up to the overnight stop at George, and reversing the order of the stages, it's back to Cape Town and a final stage at Greenpoint. A total of 1,297 kilometres with 449 kilometres of special stages on the route. And to the start of the special stage at Killarney with rain threatening all along the way. Without a doubt, the cream of the motor rallying crop, but a lot of their success depends on the skill and expertise of their backup crew who will follow the cars all the way. First car away, Hannes Krobler and Piet Swanepoel. Next up, Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide. And the 10 times former champion Sarel van der Merwe, navigator Frans Boscher. Into stage 2 at Somerset West. Adrian Pfeiffer, Sarel van der Merwe has had a problem with his foot. Stitches were taken out just a few days ago. Is this going to affect his driving at all?
Well, he's had an operation. He's having to use the heel of his foot now for changing instead of the ball. But he's such a talented driver. Really, I don't think it's going to affect him at all.
I would think that the drivers are using these early stages to settle down to their cars, work out the coordination between driver and navigator.
Well, no, I don't think so, because this competition is going to be that close on this event that these guys are going to have to be settled down right from the beginning. Remember that every second counts from the start, from the drop of the flag at the very first stage. Talking about nerves, one wonders if there isn't sometimes more tension amongst the service crews whose job it is to make sure their cars finish the event.
It's over Salaris Pass and up into the mountains, with Sarel van der Merwe taking the first stage and Serge Damso the second. Well, we've completed 2 of the spectator stages, but this is the 3rd stage at Hohook, and this is exactly where the rally starts. Hannes, how's it gone so far in the first 2 stages?
It's gone very well. We're quite happy. We're busy getting used to the car, and we're hopefully for the other stages. I think we're going to do well.
You happy about the weather?
It looks like it's going to rain, but it doesn't matter because it's going to rain for all the guys.
A grey cloud covering and Hannes Grobler is away. There's very little room for error here with the mountain on the one side and a drop to the valley on the other. Very different to the first two stages. Grobler will be looking to notch up a stage to his credit here to keep up with the leaders. Sarel van der Merwe running in the lead at this time. The road's wet from the recent rains. But one of his main rivals, Serge Damso, has not yet arrived at the start of stage 3 as a result of a problem with a CV joint, and he's fallen back in the starting order. But Nick de Waal, without any problems so far, is establishing himself as leader in Class B and a force to be reckoned with in the rally. Into the service area at Bot River. And after a magnificent run on stage 3, clipping 13 seconds off Sarel van der Merwe, Damso moves into the overall lead, but he's still having problems with the steering. It's the first opportunity to refuel, make minor adjustments, and prepare the cars for the stages to come. The start of another stage, but is his foot problem bothering van der Merwe?
The foot's okay. But because I'm using my heel, my coordination is a bit out, but it's not that bad.
And the course, what's that like?
It's been pretty rough up to now, but you know, nothing serious.
Although in third place, Hannes Grobler doesn't seem to be having any problems. Well, now they're out in the open, flat stretches, and the drivers obviously have a chance to get up some speed here.
Yes, this is where turbocharged V6 Nissan power really comes into its own. The top cars are pushing out close to 550 brake horsepower, which is not that much less than the modern Grand Prix single-seaters. Of course, that sort of power is all very well, but what counts is getting it onto the ground. The Sarel van der Merwe Audi is an imported vehicle, but the car which Serge is driving is virtually a homemade. It was built in South Africa. It's quite a fantastic, it's unique in the world apparently.
And what sort of speed are they hitting?
On a stretch like this, they must be doing close to 200 k's, but top speed is not all that important on an event of this nature, because much of it is it's much tighter than the section we see there.
Of course, breaking away from the leaders, there are as many tussles down the field as there are in the front. As you could see, one of the fastest of the two-wheel drive cars, second place in Class B, Jannie Hubbing. Frank Lindemann with superb driving skills. Bruce Terry and Alan Castley of Western Province giving the gatepost a wide berth. Nuno de Cunha and Paul Ruyaard just clipping the post. But an obvious problem as the Nissan loses drive. Frustrations of mechanical failures as Nuno gives vent to his feelings.
What's that, a 13 in there, 12?
But actually, have one needs two nuts in it. Side shaft is off. I beg yours? Just needs two nuts over there. You push it right through. This side of the bolt to right.
But the race for some still carries on. And Nuno is left in the dust. Bossie Bosman and Cobus Grobler from Western Province. Glenn Hall and Martin Buerter doing well. Experiencing very few problems and giving a good account of themselves, Eric Sanders and Thilo van Westenhagen. At the end of stage 10, Sarel van der Merwe is in the lead, just a few seconds ahead of Hannes Grobler, with Serge Damso having experienced some problems close on their heels. Into stage 11 and the rally well underway. Hannes Krobler, although in second position, it's an ideal place for him to make up ground. But it's going to take a lot to catch this man, Sarel van der Merwe, in the Audi. But the winner of the last 3 championship rallies, Serge Damso, experiencing some problems, is battling to keep up with the front runners. Nick de Waal doing what's expected of him, that's to lead Class B. The route winds through the hilly area of the Southern Cape, and at times the stages pass right through the farmyards. Gussie Coetzee and Wiley Harrington, Jannie Habig and Ewald van Rensburg. Dickie Klaver and Douglas Judd. Johan Evertse and Steve Harding in their Audi Sport. The drivers are getting tired now, but still they're clocking up good times, sometimes even losing a bit of concentration. Stage after stage, the rally approaches the end of the first day. It's the end of stage 13 now, and there are just a few seconds separating the first and the second cars. Sarel van der Merwe out in the lead, and Hannes Krobler battling to catch him up. It's getting dark, they're fitting the lights, and the race is really on between these two now. Most of the cars have already left this service point at the Goerits River Bridge, and it's only after some while that the Toyota arrives. It's a car plagued with problems. An annoyed Serge Damso voices his opinion. Serge, you have problems there with the wheel?
We had a puncture and we got the same problem misfiring for the last 3-4 events. You know, it just keeps on coming back, so I don't know.
How far behind are you now?
I think we're lying third now at the moment. We're quite far behind.
Do you think that the misfiring can be fixed up?
Well, it hasn't been fixed for the last 3 or 4 events. I don't think it's going to be fixed now.
Into the night, and Adrian, this is the real challenge in the rally now.
Yes, the night sections really are a difficult and interesting mix of tar and gravel. The cars are going out on tar on the Otanequa pass, and they're coming back downhill on gravel on a ball-bearing surface on the Montague pass.
Some drivers even prefer night riding, it seems.
That's right, Sarel van der Merwe is one of them. Sarel has always advocated nighttime rallies. He sees well at night, and he seems to go faster under those conditions.
End of day 1 leaderboard, Sarel van der Merwe has improved on his position. Hannes Krobler still there in second, and of course Serge Damso is still in the rally. And the Class B leader, Nick de Waal. It's a crisp, clear morning at the start of the second day, something like 35 entries starting the remainder of the event going back towards Cape Town. In the lead at the moment, Sarel van der Merwe. Sarel, I'm sure you're quite happy with that margin that you've got in the lead.
Yes, we've got nearly 3 minutes. We had a good run yesterday. No problems, and it's going to be a case of just hanging on to the lead and trying to maintain it.
Well, obviously, Hannes is going to try very hard to make up the difference. Do you think it is possible? It's quite a large margin.
Well, unless we have problems, it's going to be very difficult for him to make it up. So, I don't know what he's going to decide, but in his position, I would probably settle for second because I think he's got a fairly good margin on Serge as well.
Anything can happen in a rally, so we're going to send it. And we had a lot of problems yesterday with brakes, and we broke out diff last night, so they changed it, and hopefully it's going to go better today.
A new day, and a new challenge, and basically there are two strategies in operation here. One is to go all out and make up lost time, and the other is to preserve the time advantage and the cars till the end of the rally. The quietness of a country morning is rent asunder by the crack and throb of these brute engines. Hartenbos, just outside Mossel Bay, a tar stage.
Here we have Nick de Waal. This one's up the side of a hill. It's tight and it's fast, and it's going to demand the best from the drivers. Yanni Hubby coming into a 90-degree corner. He's going a little wide. Oh, he's clipped the corner.
Let's have a look at that again.
I think he's damaged the suspension.
But 2 stages later and repairs have been made, and he's once again challenging for Class B. Here's a surprise, Glyn Hall in a Class D car, virtually up with the leaders. And still the battle rages for second place in Class B between Kasi Kutsi and Yanni Hubby. Leader in Class B, Nick de Waal, is certainly going to be hard to beat. Cape Town's Bruce Terry is still challenging. The Class E Toyota Conquest of Eric Sanders is once again reigning supreme in his division and staying up with the overall leaders. But a problem for the leaders in Class B, Nick de Waal and Guy Hodgson, as they tramp slowly back to the spectator spot, and their car lying abandoned midway through the stage.
Well, we were leading the class by far, and we were lying 4th overall at this stage, and then we were unfortunate enough that suddenly the Conrad just decided to go, and the engine blew up. So that means the end of our rally.
And with that, the Class B leadership passes to Kasi Kutsi. Dickie Klaver finding it an uphill battle. There's Glyn Hall. Deniso Miranda and Tony Vilker Thomas. Still no change in the leaderboard between the top 3. Sarel van der Merwe now is going to be very hard to catch. Kasi Kutsi heads up Class B.
We're at the start of the 23rd stage, and the drivers have been through 4 stages already. The leader, Sarel van der Merwe, has built up a lead of about 2.5 minutes, and there are not many stages to go. If the drivers are behind him are going to catch him, they've got to do it now.
Well, now Sarel has built up a substantial lead, and I suppose the question is, can anyone catch up with him?
At this stage, I think it's doubtful. The big advantage that Sarel has had, of course, is that he's had a trouble-free drive, as opposed to Hannes Koppe, who's had tremendous transmission problems, especially today. They changed the gearbox this morning. And, of course, Serge Damso had the problems with his front suspension, with his misfire, with the punctures.
Was Groblo, of course, waiting in the wings to take advantage of anything that might happen to Sarel van der Merwe's car?
Yes, Hannes's car seems to be going very well at the moment, but whether he can make up anything on Sarel is problematical.
They're running out of time, really. Not enough stages left in the rally for them to take advantage of.
Yes, I think Hannes would be wise at this stage to settle for second.
And it's a good comeback by Serge Damso, in spite of the problems that they've had with that car.
Yes, they seem to have cured the misfire now, and the car is actually running very well indeed.
A lot of credit must go to his backup crew.
Oh, yes, we can't take that away from them. In summarising, there's very little to choose between the front runners, and the slightest problem can make a change to the leaderboard.
And it's back to the picturesque Cape Town for the last spectator stage at Greenpoint. And it's Cyril van der Merwe on the line to start the last leg. Crossing the line to take the honours in this, the Nissan International, Cyril van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff. And in second place, Hannes Krobler and Piet Swanepoel in the Nissan Skyline.
Hannes, was that something of a disappointing rally for you?
Not the rally itself. We had a lot of problems the last few stages. Our clutch and our front diff packed up, so I had to drive with the thing like that to the end because we didn't have any service time left. And it was very tight, but the rally itself was very good.
First in Class B, Cassie Coetzee and Wiley Harrington. And let's have a look at the winners in some of the other classes. Class C, Ben and Isabel van der Westhuizen. Class D, Glyn Hall and Martin Buerter. Class E, Eric Sanders and Thilo van Westenhagen. And Class F, Roelof Fecken and Francois Jordan. A moment of jubilation, the 25 finishers and the Manufacturers Award going to Nissan. The end of a great event, and although Cyril van der Merwe wins this rally, Serge Damso still remains on top of the national championship table. So we look forward to the West Bank International